back here on the Rich Eisen Show, getting ready for year 14 in the National Football League, should he so want. He is joining us back here on the program. Patrick Peterson is here. Good to see you, Patrick. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. And yourself, Richie?
I am good. I'm checking out the gear here that you are wearing on your Zoom. What's that logo on your golf shirt, Patrick? What is that?
That's my logo, P2.
That, right, I see that. And then the hat says Good Bogey, Patrick. There's such a thing? There's such a thing?
There is such a thing. I'm about to go golfing right after I get off this Zoom with you.
Okay.
And I may have a good bogey today. I may be in the trees, and it might be a hard shot to get back on the onto the green. So I may have to take my medicine, punch out into the fairway, and go from there. So there is a such thing as a good bogey.
Okay, very good. Normally, but good bogeys are for players who aren't all that good, like me, for instance. And I've got a shot to show you. Hoskins, I didn't expect him to wear a good bogey hat. Can you show him that golf shot I hit on National Golf Links just a couple of weeks ago? Patrick, have you played National Golf Links of America in beautiful
I have not.
Southampton, New York? It is incredible. Founded in 1909. It's one of those old school links. It's really special. Right next door to Shinnecock. So I'm playing this course. It's a par 3, about $125. There's a wind from left to right. I grab a 9-iron, decide I'm just going to lay off it a little bit, and oh my gosh, the thing damn near went right in the hole. You could see it's right behind it, and maybe you could even see to the right of the cup is an indentation. That's where the ball landed. I damn near two-handed slammed it. On this hole. Have you ever had an ace? You ever had an ace, Patrick?
No, Rich. I came close a couple of times, but did you make that putt?
Well, here's the thing. Interesting follow-up question. My first shot on the hole, I topped it 40 yards and was so livid, I just repegged in front of all of my comrades, and I said, "This is just gonna. I can't do this on a par 3 at National Golf Links of America." And that was my second shot, and I did one putt. Actually, they just said that's good. They just said pick it up. They gave it to me, and that was. So, is that a good bogey or a bad one? You know, what would you?
Richie, that is a good bogey.
Bogey.
That's a damn good bogey.
See, but what it did is it also made me rethink my future golf playing, because had I actually jarred that when I was just that far away from doing it, what would I have told people? Is that a hole in one?
You made a par. Yeah, you made a par.
On a hole in one, though. Right?
No, you made a par.
Oh, my God. That would have been bad news, right? Could you imagine?
Right.
Everyone's like, "Hey, you hold it out on 6." I'm like, "Well."
And then, Richie, that would have been the best par ever.
Oh my God! Yeah. By the way, Xander Schauffele, I told him that story, and what did he say?
Schauffele said that, who cares?
He said to lie about it.
Yeah, just lie.
He said I should lie about it, and he won the PGA Championship, Patrick.
I guess you're right. I mean, for your own good, I guess you can lie about it, but you're Rich Eisen. Like, you're not going to lie about making a fake hole in one.
I have a reputation. You're not wrong. You know, and there's a tight shot. That's how close I came to having this issue. Tight. Yeah, I love it. Patrick Peterson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So, other than playing golf, what's your mindset for the summer here, Patrick? What are you going on here? What do you think?
Man, Richie, I'm staying in shape. I'm doing everything that I need to do if the phone does ring, because I do have a desire to play a 14th season in the NFL. But, that decision is not in my hands, so I'm going to do everything that I need to do to make sure that I am prepared if the phone does ring.
Do you have teams on a radar screen? Or are they on yours? You on theirs right now, Patrick?
Early on in the throughout the free agency process, obviously, how much I love, Coach Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and Joey Porter, and I want to be around his growth throughout his young NFL career. Coach Zimmer there in Dallas, had a couple conversations with them. But I think it's just going to come down to see how how the team is, how the team is looking after mini camps. Now that guys are in OTAs, They're trying to still, move a couple guys around and see how the roster is going to be looking going into training camp. So those are two teams right now that that we had conversations with, but we'll see where it goes.
So maybe you got to get training camp underway and see how things shake out, and then maybe your phone rings mid-August or something like that. That's the plan, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's looking like as of right now. Because like I said, teams are they're well underway in OTAs. You don't really see many signings during this period. You start seeing a couple guys come off the board, mid-June, mid-July, late July. And like you said, once, injuries start to happen throughout camp, never want that to happen to anyone.
Of course not.
We do play a physical sport.
No, I understand that. And you won't say this, so I'll say it for you. Because you don't want it to come across like that you're cutting any corners here, because you're not. You look great. But you're going to be 34 in July. You don't need to be living in a dorm for 2 weeks. That's fine if you show up. If you show up mid-August, like, you're a grown-ass man. You don't want to be on some college campus in some dorm, at age 34 in the middle of August. What the hell?
Man, Rich, I really enjoyed that time, though. With me, obviously having the love and the aspirations of building, a championship team and just being around the guys, that's almost my favorite time of the year. A lot of guys dread the training camp portion of gearing up for the season, but that's the time that you have an opportunity to get closer with the guys. That's the time you have an opportunity to get to learn the guys, because these are guys you're going to be around, in the heat of battle. So you want to get the opportunity to know what pushes their buttons. What type of head they have when the kitchen is hot. So those are moments that I really, really enjoy. About football. The practices. Being in training camp, being in the locker room, the games. It is what it is, but just being the process, the grind, what it takes to get to that goal that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the season.
So I guess, you kind of answered my next question a little bit, Patrick Peterson, but I'll ask it anyway. Why do you want to play at year 14? Why do you want to do it?
Because that was always my goal. That was always my goal, Rich, even as a kid, I always wanted to play at least 14 seasons. And this is why I picked that number 14, because I always had dreams, and goals to be one of the best to ever play, to be to be hopefully enshrined in the Football Hall of Fame. And when you look at these guys' resumes, majority of these guys played 12 plus years, made multiple Pro Bowls, being on, whatever decade team that they were in at their time, making all pro teams, so with me being a football lover, I wanted to know what it would take for me to reach those requirements. So that was year 14. 14 was just a number that I was just set on, that I felt that I needed to hit to really solidify my career.
Patrick Peterson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you have any contact at all with Jayden Daniels last year? Being an LSU guy, any reach out or anything like that with the new Commanders QB?
I had not reached out to Jayden Daniels last year at all. But here's a quick story.
Sure.
I knew Jayden when he was in at Arizona State, because I was playing in Arizona at the time. And my marketer, my social media marketer, Alex Guerrero, at the time, I believe he was, doing some small stuff for him, for his community, for his charity, helping him and his mom out throughout the community. And we crossed paths a couple times. So that was the only time that I really had an opportunity to really sit down and speak with Jayden. But for the most part, his career at LSU was just unbelievable. What he was able to do last year, and the steps that he was able to make from the previous year, it was just remarkable to see the steps and the strides that he was able to make to solidify himself as a Heisman Trophy winner and the second overall pick for the Washington Commanders. So it's going to be interesting to see how how his career ended up panning out. I do love his skill set. I think I thought he was the best quarterback as far as overall skill set, pocket presence, going through the process of reading the routes. I just thought he was the best all-around quarterback in this 2024 draft. So we'll see how it all end up coming into fruition throughout this season. But he had a hell of a run with the Tigers, man. I was happy to see that he brought home the Heisman Trophy.
Is that the same Alex Guerrero of Tom Brady fame you're referring
No,
to?
no.
Say,
Crazy thing about it, I pull his leg all the time about that. I said, you're not the Tom Brady Alex Guerrero. You're just a normal Alex Guerrero.
Good. I had to follow up. I got it. And Justin Jefferson got the bag, Patrick. I mean, he got the bag and then some. I imagine, have you ever, lined up against him? I'm trying to figure this out. Practice? Did that happen or something like that? Or what?
Man. I mean, we lined up against each other time and time again, and just to see him finally get what he has deserved. Just a remarkable 4 years to the start of his career. He deserved every penny that Minnesota gave him. And just to be with him for those 2 years in Minnesota, just to see the growth, just to see the maturity level. And he already had maturity when I've known Justin since he was 11 years old, because me and his brother Jordan Jefferson was roommates at LSU. So I've known Justin for forever, so to see how his career and his how his career has unfolded and to see that is paying off for him, being like you have here, the Offensive Player of the Year in 2022, the leading receiver. I believe he was the leading receiver in 2022 as well.
Oh yeah,
just remarkable numbers, and he's just only going to continue to get better because he loved the game of football, and the drive that he has is it's just inevitable for him to continue to be who we are.
Oh, I mean, he's incredible, Patrick. I mean, he in those 2 years you played with him, he set the record for most receiving yards in the history of the first 2 years of the NFL, and he broke Odell's mark. Does that mean he had to give Odell the $100 back, Patrick?
That's what it was in the locker room.
I don't know. He was handing them out. I don't know if it's probably multiple hundreds, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, he's incredibly talented, clearly. But it takes more than that to do what he did and has done. So, what did you see in the first 2 years where you're like, okay, or you must have known it when he was an 11-year-old? I don't know if he, as an 11-year-old, you thought, okay, he's got something. But I mean, what is it? What makes this kid tick like this? Do you think?
Man, I have to say his older brothers, Ricky and Justin, they really, really pushed him. You know how it is being a younger brother, of brothers that probably, that played sports. They're always gonna not bully you, but push you around a little bit, push your buttons to see how you react to certain things. And I believe that's what helped drive Justin to where he is right now. And his mom, his parents, John and Missy Lane, been around them forever, and they're just great people in general, so they would never let Justin steer off or veer off on the wrong path, so he just has a great head on his shoulders, a great support team around him. And like I said earlier, he just loved the game of football. That's all he wanted to do. He just want to play football and put good film out there each and every time he set his cleats out there on the football field. All
right, last one for you. If you're willing to share your favorite Tomlin story from last year. I mean, you got to play for him. And you won. I imagine you already mentioned you wouldn't mind playing for him again, so I understand. I'm asking a potential third rail subject here. But you got a good one that you can share with me about playing with Tomlin from last year?
I got one. It was probably the first raining day in training camp. And, this is my first year in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I hear all the cliche about, like, it don't matter what the weather is. It can be only time we're coming inside unless it thunders or thundering and lightning. So I'm like, God, dog, man, look, the sky's about to fall. So we still got practice. The horn's still blowing, this, that, another. So coach calls us up. He said, hey, man, I just want to get in front of this right now. Yeah, we got bad weather, but there's going to be some point in time in the season to where on Sunday, it's going to be bad weather. And if you're not prepared for it, how do you expect to succeed in it? And I was like, damn, I never thought about that, because you always think about, you want to have the ideal weather when you're in training camp. And, some head coaches may be like, all right, we're not going out there today. We're not doing this. We're going to take it inside, maybe change it up to a walkthrough, or maybe get the work in later on in the afternoon. Not Coach T. He said, we're going to get this work in. We're going to prepare ourselves just in case we have to cross this road, at that time. And we crossed that road a couple times this last season, and the team was well prepared. So it's just things like that. Being around Coach Tomlin for those 9.5 months, or however long we was together, I had the opportunity to learn so much from him. I had the opportunity to learn how he gear himself up each and every day, and have the guys laser focused on the main goal each and every time they walk into that building. So shout out to Coach Tomlin, man. He's definitely a Hall of Fame head coach, and one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was a brutal day in Baltimore in the final week of the season, where your team had a win to make the playoffs. It was brutal. It was awful.
Exactly.
There you have it. Like on the most important game of the season to that point, no question about it. Hey, Pat,
and Rich, to go back, that's exactly how practice was. To be so honest with you, that's exactly how practice was. It was raining just like that, nonstop. And in Latrobe, the wind was blowing, so it wasn't like cold, but when it's raining and the wind's blowing, it feels kind of cold. So it was almost identical to that Baltimore game.
There you go. Hit him straight. I hope it's good weather there in Georgia today, right? It's not.
Yes,
good?
Sir, it is.
You're good? Okay.
It's nice weather, 75 and sunny, baby.
All right, 75, that's also going to be your score, right, Patrick? You're going to, right?
Yeah, that's what I average.
We're
So
going.
I'm going for 73 today. I'm getting ready for a members guest tournament here Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go even part of that.
Are you going to the GIN? Are you going to GHIN.com or whatever it is? Is that where you're going right now?
check it out.
Looking 'em up
What do we got?
real quick.
All right. Not that we're checking your work here,
Solid
Patrick.
3.
Solid 3.
I'm a solid 3. Look it up.
Okay.
All right.
Cover 3. We're
there.
playing cover 3 today. Is that what we got? All right. He's hydrating too, so he's going to be able to be walking the course. You look great, dude. All right.
Ooh, this says he was a 5.3, Patrick. You better update your GIN number.
Yeah. 5'3".
Hey, so I'm getting ready. I'm pulling a Larry Fitzgerald. I'm getting ready for the member guest tournament, so I want at least, because I haven't really practiced as much, so I need as many strokes as I can.
What do you mean you're pulling a Larry Fitzgerald? What are you talking about?
Oh,
What?
I'm sorry. That slipped out.
No,
Rich.
so Larry's not on the up and up, because you want to talk reputation. I mean, he's unbesmirchable. Like, we can't. What happened?
Hey, I'm sorry. That slipped out. Rich. Shout out to Larry Fitzgerald, man, my guy, forevermore.
Okay. Just shave a little bit off is what you're saying, or add a little on. That's what you're saying. Add a little on.
I just want to add a couple.
Okay, yards after the catch. That's what you're saying. He's got the yak. When it
The
comes
yak,
to his,
His GIN number.
his GIN number. Okay, very good. He's famous for that. Patrick, you're the man. You be well. Let's catch up soon.
You guys too, man.
Ladies and
Always
gentlemen,
great, Richie.
the great at P2, everybody. Patrick Peterson. Always great catching up with him.
Good bogey.
Oh,
Good bogey. Interesting.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry, yeah.
I'm pulling a Larry, which means I got to get ready for member guests. So I got a balloon.
I thought you were 2. No, I'm a 5.
I'm a 5.
I'm a 5.
See, we're just checking homework. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.